Long live EFF, long live. Tata, EFF, Tata. Tata, EFF, Tata. Thank you very much. National Chairperson, Deputy President, Secretary General, Deputy Secretary General, Treasurer General, and all members of the Central Command Team, Provincial Command Team, Regional Command Team, and all leaders who are part of the election structures of our movement. Our staff members and the staff members of this establishment we find ourselves in, the IMSA team led by Comrade Terry. I'm very happy to be here today after a successful launch of our manifesto, the People's Manifesto, which is themed Our Land and Jobs Now, Stop Load Shedding, which was launched here in eThekwini in KwaZulu-Natal. I was saying to Secretary General that I think we took a wrong decision to call this meeting today, because today we're supposed to rest after that successful event. But he says, no, just speak and then go. We will finish the business. I have to rest a bit because the system is collapsing, so I have to go and regain some energy after we did some serious work here in KwaZulu-Natal. And we're happy that the structures of the EFF here in KZN and in particular eThekwini have responded to the clarion call. Comrades, when you look at the social media and all of the media today, they have nothing negative to say, because their story was that that stadium is not going to be full and that EFF was going to be a flop and this will be a burial site of our organization. But the way you executed the task yesterday, you silenced all the doomsayers. And today they've got nothing to say. To a point that our enemies had to run headlines about the EFF invades KZN. That's a sign of an affirmation that you did something that was not expected from you. But let me tell you that there was an intelligence gathering about our event. At every entry of KwaZulu-Natal, there were police and state security marking and registering the buses that are coming from outside KZN. And this morning, one of the ministers in the security cluster was telling me that the officials of the ruling party were disappointed to hear that there was no single bus outside KZN. But you'll be glad to know that the ANC is coming on the 24th, and they were saying these kids are too brave to fill up Mabhida with KZN alone. We're not going to make that mistake. A directive has already been issued that Eastern Cape, Free State, Mpumalanga must send buses to complement KwaZulu-Natal. Because they can't do it alone. But what makes me more happy is that, if we had said Eastern Cape must send buses, Free State, Mpumalanga as the nearby provinces, the story was not going to be that Free State, Eastern Cape, and Mpumalanga send buses. The story was going to be that he bussed people from Limpopo to go to Moses Mabhida. Because the intention is to paint us as a tribalistic organization. And we dealt with that myth yesterday and we destroyed it forever. We have demonstrated to all that we are a national organization with a national footprint. And that we are not clowns that claim to have political parties referring to gangsterism and family trust as political parties. Now you have a task after that successful launch of the manifesto to deliver a decisive victory for our movement in the national and provincial elections. You are here as torchbearers of our message for the return of the land and as the pioneers of our calls for the creation of jobs and as the weapons who will explain to our people as they sit in the darkness how we intend to put a stop to load shedding. This gathering is therefore here to select the best amongst us who will implement the goals and objectives of the EFF manifesto in governance. We are electing the public representatives of the EFF after the manifesto so that when you accept to lead the EFF in parliament and in the legislature, when a form is sent to you to accept the nomination, eventually, you should be knowing what you are accepting your nomination for. For some of you accept nominations even before you see the manifesto. You accept to be sent to parliament not knowing what you are going to do in parliament. 260 pages that you have to go through, internalize, and deeply understand the meaning of everything that is contained in that manifesto. This list conference is going to determine who's going to lead South Africa after May, because we are confident we are going to win elections. So the possibility is that we might be sitting amongst ministers and premiers and MECs. So you ought to understand that these people who are sending to parliament and legislature now are going to be government. And therefore you have to elect the best of the best. But this is not a job. Because to lead a government of the EFF is not an employment. And again, political education must do political work to educate you, to internalize and understand the difference between employment and deployment. Because most of you don't understand what is a deployment. You think you are employed. The position you are going to occupy is an EFF position. You are sent to represent the EFF. And when you are called to come back, you should not even have a problem. Because you know you were sent, now you are being called come back. I had a discussion with him, we saying about some former chairperson of the EFF. And then I send him a message. He sent me a message, I respond him. He doesn't respond my message back. He just blue ticks me. So I'm unable to make a follow-up. But I wanted to make a follow-up with him that just tell me one former provincial chairperson of the EFF who was removed from position of responsibility and never redeployed and remained in the EFF. There's no single one of them. No single former chairperson of the EFF who was deployed, outvoted, and removed from a position of responsibility and not redeployed and still remained in the EFF. Not one. Because they feel so entitled. They are something out of the ordinary. That the EFF will never be anything without them in that particular province. So let's take KZN for instance. This Vusi leaves because he can't organize a bus, a single bus. And when he leaves, he starts saying bad things about the EFF. But what made me so shocked was that he now mobilizes people to go to this guy's event, Ngizwe's event. And I'm like, you couldn't organize a bus. You have no capacity to organize anyone to go anywhere. So why all of a sudden do you think that you can organize people for some parallel event of the EFF? Then it later rings bell in my mind that he thinks very highly of himself and he doesn't know that he's actually nothing. He was made what he was because of the collective wisdom of the EFF. So, you must elect today the people who have demonstrated their loyalty to the movement. Nothing else but loyalty to the movement. In my discussion with Mbuyiseni, I said to him, anyone who betrays loyalty, I crush them to the grave. You know why I do that? I will never be disloyal to the people I'm loyal to. And I've got no history. I've got no history of selling anyone out. You can go to my enemies who were my friends before. They will tell you that you can say whatever you want to say about him. When he's loyal to the core. And when you betray us, we don't forget, we may not fight and say all things because we believe that for the sake of the unity of our movement, some things we must pretend like we don't see. But when that opportunity comes to deal with disloyal people, we do so without making any apology. Now, I'm saying this because I was asked to help a man who sold out the EFF, resigned from the position of the EFF without telling the leadership of the EFF in the legislature, and gave a letter to the Speaker of the ANC that I'm resigning. I, the Commander-in-Chief of these deployed forces on the ground, must now hear from the ANC that one of your soldiers have resigned. And I said, you are so playful, you are joking. It's not true, he will never do that. And I put him on a conference call. And I asked, did you resign? Then he started telling me a story. He said, no, don't tell me a story. Did you resign, yes or no? He said, yes. I said, thank you, no problem, it's okay. Resign from a position that we are going to elect today. We are here. So much money was spent here. So much effort was put together for us to be here. We deploy you into government, into legislature. You say you are a loyal and disciplined member of the organization. Like a loyal soldier, you leave your post without a further instruction. When you are standing on a post as a loyal and disciplined member, like we did yesterday, under the rain, you don't surrender the position. You stick to the position until the commanders come back to say to you, you can retreat from the position. Why do you retreat from the position without the commanders giving you a further instruction to leave the position? Then you leave the position without commanders knowing that you have left the position. You get shot and wounded in a different space. We don't know how you landed there. We get called to come and rescue you. I will never do that. I will never do that. We have no room for sellouts. You leave your post. You are on your own. The day you leave your post, that's the day you denounce your membership. That's the day you denounce your loyalty to our movement. Under all circumstances, stick to your post. Don't retreat. Discipline means that. Loyalty means that. You stick to your post. That's why we salute people who never sold out during the struggle. Beaten, tortured, all manner of things done to them. They said, I will never sell out my comrades. I will rather die because I'm loyal to the cause. So we learn from those people. You are not being tortured. You are not being imprisoned. No one has forced you to go to exile. You operate under a very conducive environment to a point where you even get paid for being on that post. And then you still show us a middle finger. And when you get into trouble, we get called to come and rescue you. We'll never do that. This movement, we must defend it with everything, because if you rescue people who are in trouble after they sold the movement out, you are teaching others that you can leave your post, the organization will still find you wherever you are and still rescue you. We can't teach people politics of disloyalty. We can't do that. So, comrades, all of us, as we serve our organization, we must know that we only owe it one thing, which is loyalty. The founding manifesto, the constitution, the code of conduct of the EFF is all you need. You don't need anyone to tell you anything. Don't listen to people who say they are your leaders and leaders of factions. Because they are going to get you into trouble. And after getting you into trouble, they are going to be the ones who are presiding over your disciplinary process. And they won't do anything except to say, you are found guilty, suspended, or expelled. The same people who told you to do the wrong things. Every time when a discussion takes place, the question should be, what does the constitution of the EFF say on this matter? What does the code of conduct of the EFF say on this matter? Because we are not the constitution. We are political animals who always seek political power. And to listen to us without reference to the constitution, you run a risk of getting into trouble. So I'm asking that we all stick to the constitution and the discipline of our organization. Some of you are not going to make it into the list because of your behavioral patterns that you have demonstrated over a period of time. Here we are going to elect cream de la cream of the EFF. Here we are not going to elect factionalists. Here we are not going to elect the people who were elected in RPA or PPA or NPA because their faction won the leadership of the province. They think automatically they will go into legislature. What we are doing here has got nothing to do with the outcome of your conference. We are done with that. Whether you are a chairperson of a province or not, it's not automatic that you will go to the legislature. We have spoken to you and spoken to you many times and asked you to be disciplined, and you did not listen. Now you are going to know what we were talking about when we said be disciplined and follow the leadership as instructed. So your faction is not going to work. If you gave people money, it's a waste of money. If you called a caucus, I called Lebo TP. This voice is gone, man. It's disappointing me. I called Lebo during the day, so Lebo is my friend, my childhood friend. He's here. So we haven't seen him properly yesterday, and even today we haven't seen him. Then my wife says, We didn't even see the ball. Okay, let's call him. He doesn't answer first time. Second time he doesn't answer. Then he returns the call. Okay, where are you? No, we're here, we're registering. Okay, registering what? The list. So what's happening? We're talking to other people and talking again. Then I realize, there is something going on in the corridors. Okay, so I don't tell him, I'm like, shame, they are wasting time talking to each other. It's not going to help. You don't have to lobby. It's too late. You should have done good back then, not now. So fighters, we have the list as this leadership. We have the list. So we called you here to come and guide us as to who can be number 3. Number 3, I'm making a mistake. The list starts from 7 going down. There is a top 6, you know it. So it's 7 going down. Yeah, 7 going down. SG, there must not be confusion. Even Terry must know. 7 down. Now we're in. We're already inside. You find people caucusing about our names. No, don't involve us in those things. Tina's Pagat, there is no problem. We asked you to come and prioritize this list and say to us which one can be number 10, which one can be this and that. Then when we're done, we'll take that and then re-look it and then compare it with ours and say, okay. Because democratic centralism means that we have to listen to the lower structures before we take a final decision. Because you must guide us as to what must be the final decision. So we're here to listen to you. You went to the regions. You came to the province. Now we're here to make a final determination and send it to us. We will respect what you are saying. But where there are fundamental flaws, we will intervene and say, not this one. Because this one has been insulting the chairperson, what is that region of Medzimahulu? Has been insulting the chairperson of Fesley Derby every morning when he wakes up. He sends WhatsApp, he sends Facebook, he sends this, insulting our chairperson every day. Insulting the organization every day. Then we must come here and affirm the same person who has been insulting our organization every day. It's not going to happen then. So, whatever factionalism that you have arranged is okay, but you must know we know ill discipline. And we will not tamper with the outcome. We just remove this one. No. Law must go out. Then the list goes up. That's all. That's all. So here we are coming to put forward those who have put the organization forward. They did not put themselves forward. You ought to be a member of the EFF in good standing. But most importantly, you must have matric. Without matric, you won't go to parliament. That doesn't apply to Mam Sonti and Mam Kaulai, who can't apply such things to them. There will be those exceptional cases, but not of young people. Me and you had an opportunity to go to school. We're not in exile. We're not in Robben Island. We're not underground. We are here, 30 years of freedom. You still haven't gone to school. And you want us to come and empower people who are saying to our children, education is nothing. We can't do that. This year is matric. The coming years, those who want to be counselors, you must ask Spetlele for somewhere. What's it? Those who want to be counselors and mayors and MMCs and what. It's going to be a degree. It's going to be post-matric, because we spoke about matric in the last local government election. You still don't listen, because you are relying on a faction that it will elect you even without matric. As we move forward, we must increase the bar. DP, in the top 50 of people who are going to parliament, there must be 10 of them with PhDs. In our list, 10 of them with PhDs. And we've got them, they are there. We've got them in the EFF. Because we have to do away with this thing of Mbalulaism. Of people leading through slogans and making no effort to visit the books. You must have some skills. Those of you who are in parliament now, you are going to have to write a report on why you must go back to parliament. What have you done? We are not running an interview. We are not going to conduct an interview, nothing. You are going to write down, what have you done when you were in parliament? Transcript is there. You can go back to parliament and check and tell us, in the committee meetings, how many times did you make input? And which one is outstanding that you think we have to reference to? We're not sending back to parliament mediocre. That doesn't attend committees, that doesn't attend parliament, that doesn't speak in parliament, and doesn't do oversight. What have you done? That must be your explanation. You must now motivate why you must go back. That is for members of parliament. That is for legislature. You are not going to elect NCOP. That one is absolutely ours, that one. We are the ones who decide on that one. NCOP is political intervention. Then the results come, they say you've got 70 seats. And then there's these other comrades that you think are strategic and they are not in the 70. You use the NCOP to balance that. But, to have engineers, to have people who have some qualifications on energy, water and sanitation, health, justice, law enforcement, education, environment, technology, local economic development, governance, communication, public administration, and any other qualification will add as an added advantage. Because we're not going to do cadre deployment. People must be deployed on the basis of merit. What are they going to offer in parliament? So please, you must not be scared that you will not make it, and therefore you have to do any other thing, even when you are loyal to the movement. Worry not. That will not happen. Those ones who are in Parliament DP, you guys, you must stick to your resolutions. You said we must adopt schools. You said we must adopt ECD. You said we must adopt crutches. You said we must help the poor. Each one of us, if we get nominated here, we must file a report in line with that. The SG says to me is deploying one of the comrades into some sub-region here in KZN. The comrade says, I'm struggling with transport. He's a member of parliament from 2014. So I say, SG, how can she struggle with transport? Because we spoke about buggies from 2014 until now. So we must ask these people, where are the buggies? Because we said you must buy buggies. And you must tick all the boxes. There's no box you are going to miss. We said this repeatedly. Repeatedly. And then you thought you were clever. Don't go and adopt a crèche now or a school now. We will know. We will know that. Because we'll interface with that institution and they will tell us. We need 40% youth. Mara, we don't want kids, SG. Youth should not mean kids because we deploy kids there in parliament and they get overwhelmed. And then we say they are youth. There is no youth and kids are two different things. Sifuni a youth endala. So, how old is the president of the student command? 20? 27, president of the student command. He's 27. But when the guy speaks, you can hear that there is an authority that comes from the mouth of this young person. He doesn't doubt himself. He knows he doesn't have to theorize or intellectualize about what he's talking about. It is in his stomach. He lives it. He breathes it. That is his life. That is the youth that when you send anywhere, you will not regret. That is the kind of youth that is young but old. You know, I've been a president of the Youth League and COSAS and all of that. I enjoy listening to president of the EFF Student Command. There are things that when he speaks, he reminds me of myself. I'm like this guy. I'm like this guy. This guy is going somewhere. And please don't destroy his future because I said the things I said. Then you are going to traditional healers to finish him. Like you tried to finish me yesterday and I'm still standing. So please, when you've got a youth like that, protect him, nurture him, give him support. When you see him, just give him money. Uramfan. Yeah, this is the 1,000 rand. Go. So that he doesn't go taking money from wrong people who are going to now destroy him. I'm talking about the president of Student Command. There are so many young people like him, but I'm using him as an example because they are youth that you know, I may not know. But we need 40% of that youth in parliament. Because we are not an old age home. We are the organization of young people. Because we represent the future. I mean, if you doubt me, go and look at the picture and the videos of yesterday. And look at who was there yesterday. It was the youth that came out in their numbers. And you must not disappoint them. When you send people to parliament, you forget them. Sorry. When you send people to parliament, you forget them. But when you call rallies, you want them. When you call volunteers, you want them. When you want someone to put up posters, you want them. But when it's time to go to parliament, you forget the youth. So we have legislated that DP. 40% must be the youth. 50% is women. It's non-negotiable, that one. And can I please get another glass with water? And the 50% of women is not only with parliament. Everything else that requires representation in the EFF, there must always be 50-50. Minimum of 50 women, not just 50%, minimum. There can be more. Women can be more. Men can be more. Women must be more. So please, when you leave this product you are going to produce here, if it doesn't have 50% women and doesn't have 40% youth, you are now inviting us to tamper with your list. Do the right thing if you don't want us to tamper with your list. Make sure it has got 50% or more women, 40% or more youth, and geographic spread. And we must make sure that all the demographics of our country are represented in that list. I now insist that there must be a white person in our list. There must be Indian person in our list. There must be colored person in our list, because our country looks like that. And our list must be a reflection of our country. When I say a colored person, I don't mean one. When I say white person, I don't mean one. When I say Indian, I don't mean one. There can be more. But we can't have for 10 years in parliament without a single white person. And we are being accused that we hate white people. We don't hate white people. We hate racism. We don't have Indian. Okay, we had one, Godrich got, oh, sorry. So, at least on coloreds we've been doing well a little bit. We can do more. So let our list be a reflection of us as a country, because the EFF is a reflection of our country. Comrades, I hope you'll do the right thing, because we trust all of you as disciplined members of our organization, that you know what is required from you. You are going to vote. After voting, you are now going to disperse to your hotels, whatever. Those who want to drive can drive home, and then we'll get the results. And then you will see the results when we send the list to the IEC. That is the results. You will see them that time. From now, Until that time, just go home and work. Don't be worried about list this, list that. Uswantur no. Narpetile rishile levachalabe bataibona. We're done. You are coming to play your role. When you are done, goodbye. Go home. Because your branches are waiting for you. Do not stress about who's going, who's coming. We are all going. As long as the EFF is going, we are all going. We are all inside. The unity of our movement is very important now. We are at a point where we can't afford to lose a single one of you out of ill discipline and divisions. We need you now more than ever before. Our movement is about to make history now. And that history can only be made if you demonstrate a determination we saw here in KwaZulu-Natal. Many of you are going to appreciate what happened here yesterday after many years. You don't know what you did yesterday. You don't know what you did yesterday. No one can take those chances. The ANC went to Mbombela. We went to FNB. The ANC is coming to Moses Mabhida. We've been to Moses Mabhida. From here, we're going to Peter Mokaba Stadium. The ANC is still to go to FNB. Because if they don't go to FNB, it means we're leading. We went to FNB. They didn't go to FNB. They went to Mbombela. We came to Moses Mabhida. They are coming to Moses Mabhida because the combination of FNB and Moses Mabhida were ahead of them. They come to Mabhida to try and balance the equation. We go to Peter Mokaba. When they try another stadium, they must be reminded you still have FNB before you go anywhere else. So we're leading this thing. And let me tell you, don't listen to fools. I've been in this game of numbers for a very long time. That stadium was full to capacity. Full to capacity. So you don't judge a stadium by the seats that are empty. You judge the stadium by how many people entered the gate. And that gate gets counted all the time. When you enter, they count you. It was full to capacity. Who wants to sit at the back seat, at the backstage? No one wants to sit at the backstage. They want to see their leadership. They want to be in front and see their leadership. Look at the people who are standing in front of us. If you take those people who are standing in front of us and put them at the back, if that's how you want to see if the stadium is full, then it's done. More than 65,000 people entered that stadium yesterday. So, that's why fools can't say anything. Don't mind Mbalula. You know, you must have this thing of reading people's mind. Mbalula puts a stadium video that is empty. Because he has already formed that in his mind that the stadium is going to be empty. Now, when the stadium is full, he's still in denial. And then he puts a picture that he has concluded in his mind. You can't do anything to help such a person. Because you know that's not true. And then what does Floyd do? He responds him with the real picture. Man, this is what happened there at Mabhida. And then you see that, and then you get affected by such things. So maybe, no. You must never expect roses from your enemies. Never. They will never praise you. It doesn't matter how good you are. And I know him, he's my friend. I know him when he's bitter about the situation, how he reacts. So, what you did yesterday, no one can undo that work you did. You in KZN, you must tell those IFP people who want to undermine you and say rubbish, ask them to go and do the same thing at Pitamkava Stadium. Ask them to do the same thing at, what is that stadium in Mangaung? Cesar Ramabudi. Ask them to go and do it at Cesar Ramabudi Stadium. Ask them to go and do it in Atteridgeville. What is that? Lucas Mripe. Abeta. And then Giants. Yeah, Giants Stadium in Soshangu. Ask them to go and do that. Ask them to go and do it at Orlando Stadium. There are hostels. I guess they survive through hostels. There are hostels in Soweto. Ask them to go and do it there. They will never do it. They must go and do it at the stadium in Mdantsane. Cesar Dugash. Ask them to go and do it in Cesar Dugash. Only the EFF can do that. Because it is a national organization. So please, let's focus, let's be disciplined. That work of yesterday comes from discipline. Everything is possible. This province is going, Gauteng is going, Western Cape is gone. Once they lose these three, they will not win national. They won't win national. We have passed the DA, but we are going to be number 3 if you become complacent and ill-disciplined. Once we pass the DA, it means we are now close to number 1. Why are you not fighting more? The DA declared you the enemy number 1. They knew what was happening. They knew, their internal polls told them that these ones are gone. Ipsos told us, it was me, DPSG, I don't know who else was there. They said to us, look guys, and that was in February, March. They said, you are going to pass the DA. We don't know what you are doing, but whatever you are doing, people are receiving it and stick to that message and continue with that message. So when it came now, it didn't come as a shock. We were told long time ago. So we need to stick to the message and stick to what we are doing now and even work more harder so that we can become number 1. But if we don't work hard, I don't get a reason why we should get less than 1 million votes, Monges, here in KZN. I don't understand why we can get less than 1 million votes, Dunga, in Gauteng. I don't understand why. For what? You have a duty not to give us less than that. If you bring anything less than that DP, you guys have failed. We got 350,000 in KZN for doing nothing. Sino zama zama nje. Alright, bamba lapho SGA ungathi bangena ngapha hey. Aphi ama poster. We don't have. We did that. 350,000 without Moses Mabhida. So what can stop us from tripling that 350,000. We got it for free, 350,000. So all we are asking you is to go and bring 750,000 to add on 350,000 because we have given you the post. What more do you want from us? When you say our leaders are not helping us. Ufunani mongezi, senzeni manje. Senze yonke into, we gave you everything. Ufunani manje. Our leaders don't support us. Our leaders, imon. Siyajiga la siyazama ukukhuluma isiZulu sithi hey lapha sifuna amavote. Sifuna amavote hey. Hey siyazama bye. Asizamile shem. When we leave here, the ball is in your court now. We came to give you a boost. Now, Limpopo, we're not going to have a provincial manifesto launch because you are hosting Peter Mukaba, Tsela Tupa rally. Whatever little resource you have mobilized must go into Tsela Tupa rally. We're starting now. We're starting now. We're not saying we're not going to have a provincial rally, comrade, former SG, because of those factionalists who were writing your letters and speaking nonsense. I'm still coming for those ones. I don't want that. Not in my province, where people think they can undermine the leadership that we have deployed in that province. That province of Limpopo is under Godrich Daddy. You're going to listen to him. And if you don't want, you can leave. You can leave now. We're not going to have the former Secretary General being questioned here. When decisions are made to a point where we even get SMSs that Godrich Gadi is killing Limpopo, Limpopo is not where. That SMS I got and the letter is the end between us and you who wrote us such messages. We're done. Our journey with you ends here. We don't want anyone, and we made this very clear, DP, when we started this thing, that we have no time for factionalism and gossip and grouping, and we don't have time for that. We cannot listen to anything that is not complementing what we are doing. When you write things down, when you start sending messages, you are plotting the failure of the leadership so that you can produce evidence and say, I told them. Since when in the EFF, leader to leader, since when do we speak through letters? We have a duty to organize a rally. And you thinking, this is not going to work. We always talk to each other. Hey, Chief, what do you think here? We plot. No. The SG is written a letter. What is the budget? Where will the money come from? What's that? What's that? Are you being sent here to come and do what? We organized this rally, seated here, all of us. We don't know what was the budget. Reduce SG. Hey. Then the TG sent their thing here. Hey, the SG says we must pay for overflow. Never. It's not going to happen. Where would the money come from? Hey. And then armchair critique. Sit down. Dear comrade, I want to understand what is the budget. Where will the money come from? Why is what and what? Municipal manager. You write letters like you are a municipal manager. You're putting it down so that when we don't perform, you can then subject us to that. Don't do that. We are activists. We are not armchair critics. We are activists. That's why So fast gijima. On the road, as we march together, we ask each other questions as we go. Hey, rona mela eng? Ona re ya mar di bus di kae? How do before I move, where are the buses? Who's going to pay for the buses? Hey, the rally is coming to Pitamkaba Stadium, Tsela Tupa rally. And there is no budget. And that rally must sit with or without budget. It must be successful, and no one must stand on the way of making that rally successful. We are going there as our last rally. So the rest of you, Share Mongis, Shai Popo Baba, you are fine, you are sorted. We say we are coming now. We want a provincial manifesto in Gauteng. Colin, TG, we want a manifesto in Mpumalanga. Northwest, want a manifesto. Northern Cape, Ugaisha Dragsham, in a hall. Want a manifesto. Free State, Coach, want a manifesto. And where else? Eastern Cape, Vienna. Where's Vienna? Want a manifesto, Vienna. It's going to be very difficult. You're going to have to deliver that manifesto. And Western Cape, not. But you, I trust you. You are making things there in the Western Cape. You know, I enjoy leaders that do something that is not sanctioned from the head office. You just wake up, EFF is doing what, where. We just watch like everybody else. Oh, wow, is there such an initiative? And the Western Cape is known for that. They take initiatives. They are not wheelbarrows. They are not wheelbarrows. It's a... If you think KZN is difficult, go to Western Cape. You won't take chances there. What is that stadium, the big one in Western Cape? Greenpoint. Shem, you won't even try. Yeah, you won't even try that. So if you want to see a difficult province, it's Western Cape. For the first time under this leadership, we won a award in the Western Cape. A award where we got how many votes in the past? It's not like we got 40% the previous election or 45%, and then we realized, this what is workable, let's go back. We were hopelessly down there. And the leadership of the Western Cape said, no, but this thing, we can win it. So we take the results, we look at the results, and no. This one. SG wants to make noise. Work on it silently so that even if there is a problem, no one had any expectation. He says, no, I'm going to bring it. You'll see. This one, me, I pretend like I'm not watching. I'm watching with one eye. And they came back with it from nothing in the Western Cape. So all I'm saying is that we need that kind of leadership. We need our provinces to be as creative as possible. We don't want wheelbarrows. You put it here, you go back to Zone 1, Masagane. When you come back, you find it here. It's waiting to be pushed. No, we don't want wheelbarrows. We want you, comrades, to work. Take your own initiatives. Do your own meetings. Do your own activities. Run your own provinces. Sometimes ask the national leadership to help you. We may not help, but don't be shy to ask for help. Can you please give us maybe 1,000 T-shirts or 3,000 T-shirts? we've got this, we're going to try this. When we see people who take such initiatives, we are also encouraged to come and support you. So be like the Western Cape and take initiatives. So we'll come. Where's their thing? When is your manifesto? 24 March, yeah. But all manifestos are going to be in March. Yeah, so we have enough time. Let's go. The first one was Limpopo. Gauteng. When? Second. So we're starting in Gauteng. So, and then we're coming to you. Don't make a mistake, Shem. Hey. You'll be in serious trouble. Don't make a mistake. So we're coming to you. Make sure that those rallies are, why manifesto rallies? We are starting your campaign, and you have to start on a good note. You can't start limping. So we are coming to give you a boost so that you start the campaign officially in your province and run it successfully. So I hope that SG, when we finish here today, we will leave here the same way we came in here. We are going to vote for 2 ballots, national to national, province to province. You came with the names from your provinces. So when you go to vote, you'll get the national to national ballot and get province to national ballot. I mean province to province ballot. When on national to national, you're going to vote for 200 people. And then on your province, they will indicate per province how many people you have to vote for. The names are there. You came with the names. Voting is to prioritize those names. IMSA is going to come here, take this platform and read. We got 600 names. They are going to read all of them for national to national. We've got 600 names. They're going to read all of them. When they are done, they're going to give you a chance to nominate any name you wish to nominate. Please, don't stand here and nominate a name that is there. We don't have time. The name that is there. After reading 600 names, you come and read another 601 name, which is a repeat. You must listen properly. And I don't know, SG, if this is going to be put on the screens as they go through. Please pay attention not to repeat a name that is there. If there is a name you feel very strong about and that name is not on the ballot, feel free to raise that name. And when you raise that name, there is no seconder, there is no objection. The name automatically goes into ballot. But if you are going to stand here, all of you, and nominate and just call names because you think it's fashionable and you want to be seen, you will sit here the whole night and you will have a ballot with 1,000 people. So help us to help you. The names are there. Whose name is missing in 600 names? No, it must be an extremely special name. Province to province, your names are there. They are going to be read. Free State list, brr. Only Free State people will raise their hands if there is a missing name to add that name. And the same apply to all provinces. We do that with maximum discipline, No screaming when you raise your hand. No calling IMSA when you raise your hand. Raise your hand. It will be recognized. These leaders are here. They will be helping IMSA to look at the wall. If they are missing a hand, they will tell them there is a hand there. You don't have to say, this side, this side, this side, this side. No. You do that in a disciplined way. Why? There's no competition. You are raising a name. No one is competing with you. It's your name. You will get an opportunity to raise that name. You do that in a maximum disciplined way. So, and then we're all going to vote at the same time. So each province SG will get its own corner. Free State there, Eastern Cape there. When you arrive, you are given the 600 national and you are given your province. So there is no Eastern Cape that is going to vote first and go and leave you. You don't have to vote for 200 names, Ishem. If you only love one person, you take one and leave. If you vote for more than 200 names, it's a spoiled ballot. Less than 200, you are safe. More than 200 is spoiled. So please, and we don't want Skepezana. No one is going to enter that place carrying a piece of paper and WhatsApp groups and what. We won't take your phones. I know 200 names are too many, but please don't make it too obvious because it will be a war. Get into the voting, you've got some list here. No. We don't know who gave you the list. And don't take your ballot a picture. Because I want you to take the money and eat it. And still don't vote for them. Take the money and eat it and not vote for them. When they say, we want evidence, you say they refuse us to take pictures inside. There's nothing I can do. Amanda!